Hello and welcome to Hexed Countered. I'm Joe. It's channel update time for October, and we'll start off by taking a look at the channel metrics for September 2023. It was a pretty good month in my opinion. The channel had 14,434 views. That's 62 fewer than the number for August, but I see that as pretty much holding steady there. Our watch time for the month was 1,644.1 hours. That's 105 hours fewer than August, so a bit down there. But as we'll see later, August had a really big performer. The channel earned a really solid 146 new subscribers in September. That's 3 more than the subscribers that were added in August. And those numbers are really strong, and I am absolutely ecstatic with the growth there. Switching gears to take a look at the channel's top 10 videos for September, we'll start with number 10, the first look at the newest DLC for the PC version of the tactical squad level wargame Valor and Victory, which received 278 views. And number 9 is another first look. This one's a sports game, Dead Ball Masters of the Game. That one had 281 views. Ranking 8th is yet another first look, this one for the game Fall of Empires, which is part of my platoon level tactical series and is an entry from the Infantry Attack series from Avalanche Press, and that one clocked in with 286 views. 7th was the September channel update, and that one received 324 views. And number 6 was the first race of the ongoing series, Scram 60, which is using Play Games stock car racing game Red, White, and Blue Racing. That one captured 325 views. And number 5 is the Platoon Tactical Series update I did back in September with 331 views. And number 4 is a video that's been consistently strong, and that is the first look at Football Coach College Dynasty. It had 348 views, and keep in mind that this is a video that was released on New Year's Day of 2023. And number 3 is the gameplay video for the latest game in MMP The Gamer's Standard Combat series. That one is Ardennes 2. This Battle of the Bulge game took 401 views in September, and that was a debut in the middle of the month, so that's a pretty strong performer as well. At number 2 is the first look at the version 2.0 release of Compass Games' Silent War IJN. That one had 566 views, and I'm hoping to get a gameplay video for that one done in November. And coming in at number 1 is a video released at the tail end of August, the gameplay video for North Africa 41, which is the latest in GMT Games' 4X series of games designed by Mark Simonich. That one clocks in with a whopping 812 views in September. So this month has been all about Tanktoberfest, and that's going to continue for the rest of the month. Thus far in the series, we've had Old School Tactical Volume 1's Red Blitz from Flying Pig Games, Lock and Load Tactical's Nations at War Digital entry, White Star Rising, a playthrough of the Prokhorovka scenario from the PC version of the tactical squad level game Valor and Victory, a look at MMP The Gamer's SCS entry Autumn for Barbarossa, the deluxe edition, and I just released a video on the upcoming Kickstarter release from Princeps Games, The Battle of Kalkan Gull, which is a sequel of sorts to last year's Freezing Inferno. That's a really interesting system and a lot of fun. If you have not checked out that video, please give it a shot and see if that might be worth, a follow or support on the Kickstarter, which will start on October 24th. The Scram 60 series using Red, White, and Blue Racing has also continued, and the 8th race of my 10-race mini-season will be arriving this Saturday as I continue my schedule of releasing one per week. Other Tanktoberfest entries to look forward to will include GMT's Panzer series, the Ghost Panzer entry from Worthington's Band of Brothers series, as well as a crossover or / combination of platoon-level tactical games series with Tanktoberfest via Flying Pig Games' Fatherland expansion for the Long Road, and another Lock and Load entry that is currently TBD. There are a couple of possibilities there, and I will see where I am when the time comes. There are a couple of PC games I'd also like to sneak in, time permitting, and potentially even more, again, time permitting. Now let's cross over from what's going on with the channel to look at what's going on with crowdfunding. I'll start off with a personal favorite, the newest volume in the Old School Tactical series from Flying Pig Games. This is Volume 4 and covers the Italian front. As you can see, this one's currently got 63,000 plus in terms of pledges. That's triple the $20,000 goal, 461 backers in just under a week. to go. This one ends on Tuesday, October 24th at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So this, as I mentioned, is the 4th volume of Old School Tactical from Flying Pig Games. It's covering the Italian front. As you can see, we've got some images. If you are familiar with this particular series, you will know that it is a squad-level tactical war game. All of the images should be fairly familiar to you if you are, like I said, familiar with the system. It does have an add-on that you can add called For the Empire, which brings the Commonwealth, some Commonwealth nations to it. So this one introduces British forces as well as Italians, Commonwealth forces with the add-on. And, as you can see, this one comes with 3 sheets of unit, weapon, vehicles, and condition counters. The large, and they really mean it when they say large. Their maps are big and it's mounted, and they're really sweet. It's a 30 by 41 inch mounted game map with 1-inch hexes. You get luck cards, you get data cards for all the units, you get scenarios, which include things like British SAS commandos, you got Sicily, all kinds of stuff in here. Stretch goals, all of the, at least so far, published stretch goals have been met. So we're going to, if you back it, you're going to get some border strips, additional luck cards, a second set of border strips. Your data and luck cards will be linen backed. You get these nice play mats, which are really handy, especially if you end up playing a pocket battle game from this series, because you can use these for the tracks instead of the tracks that are on the map, because the map, as I said, is really large. And if you're playing with a pocket map, it's much smaller. And some people like the smaller footprint. Here's the For the Empire expansion. As you can see, we've got Canada and New Zealand and Italy. So as I mentioned, this one ends on October 24th. You do get shipping information on here as well if you would like to see what it would cost to get this game in your hands. Okay, jumping over to GameFound for our second one. I am a backer of this, as you can kind of see down here. This one launched not too long ago, just a few days ago, and does have 26 days left to run. It is Assault Sicily 43, the Gala Beachhead. So yeah, this is the sequel to Assault, I want to say maybe Red Horizon. It probably actually says down here. Yeah, Assault Red Horizon 41, so I actually did remember it. Which I have not played, but I've seen, the playthroughs from some of my fellow content creators, and the game system looks really cool. So I am looking forward to seeing this. As you can see, it is available to play solitaire as well as up to 4 players. Relatively short play time, 14 and up. It's not overly complex from what I can gather. It does include a dynamic campaign in addition to its scenarios. As you can see here, the map is somewhat small. It's got counters that are actually hexagonal to go with the hexes. You can see our good friends from the Player's Aid have some videos on it as well. Here's some little bullet point entries of data for the game. 64 different unit types, 3 different forces: the U.S. Army, the Italians, and the Germans. Complexity 4 to 6 out of 10, so mid-range. You've got some optional rules, and it's combinable with the Eastern Front module Assault Red Horizon 41. I'm kind of interested to see how they pull that off, maybe with the German units, because you could have some commonality, obviously, between units moving between those 2 fronts. Maybe. I'm not sure how that actually will work out. 800 plus counters. So this box will also include the Tactical Air and Artillery Support expansion, so you're getting base game and expansion. Here, look at all the different geomorphic maps. So this is kind of, again, it's a tactical game where you can combine your maps, your geomorphic maps, to make different battlefields. You have 8 main double-sided geomorphic maps with their 390 by 290 millimeter. They're double-sided, as it says right there. You've got some double-sided maps that are a little smaller, 390 by 154, and then a couple of even smaller ones. So you have a lot of variation in your terrain, is what I'm taking away from that. Double-sided player aid cards, 52-page rulebook, 104-page campaign book. 9 counter boards, 9 counter sheets, if you will. A bunch of markers as well, some playing cards. That's a good amount of cards there. Custom dice, nice artwork. That's one thing of this series. Well, it's only 2 games, but it's now a series. It's got really cool artwork. Another first look of this particular game from Zilla Blitz, so that's going to be quality. And yeah, this is another one that I find really interesting, and I'm looking forward to playing it. You can see here's the rule book, field postcards, and so here are the rewards, right? So it's 107.80 if you're in the U.S. like I am. So you have all your various things here, and even some. You can even pick up Red Horizon 41 as an add-on. And you know what? I might modify my pledge to actually do that. So that is, again, Red Assault, or not Red Assault, Assault Sicily 43. This is Western Front as opposed to the previous one, which was Eastern Front. So this one has a ton of content. It even describes how the dynamic campaign works. 26 days left. Today is the 17th of October. I'm going to say that's November 12th. Doing some quick math in my head. So that's the second game we're looking at here. Jumping back to Kickstarter, we've got Warriors of the Blue Mediterranean Theater. This is from Aces Edizioni, and they're an Italian publisher. And as you can see by the little map here, and there is a video, this is Mediterranean Theater of World War II. This one is fairly new. The goal is not very high. There are just under 50 backers so far with 23 days to go. So this one is basically British versus Italy with some German support. This is basically like a naval game with some aircraft added to it. So it's mostly, as you might expect from Warriors of the Blue, it's dealing with the Mediterranean and like I said, some air elements as well. So it includes a bunch of aircraft like the Spitfire, the Albacore, and the Swordfish. You get the Stuka, the SM-79, the Gabo Maledetto, the Damned Hunchback, some experimental weapons. So it's a 2-player game, 3 to 4 hours. You can see you've got some ship counters here on both sides. These would be British, of course, including the aircraft carrier HMS Victorious. So Royal Navy, the Italian Navy, aircraft, British aircraft here. Got some Germans, the BF-109, a couple of Italians. This would, I suppose, be a torpedo bomber. Like you have a fighter indicator here, torpedo bomber, and a dive bomber, I'm guessing, or level bomber, perhaps. Here's the box. Here's our map. It's a mounted map. You get 2 player maps, 1 for each side, Axis and Allies. 340 counters, 12 airport cards, a turn track, 3 combat displays, 2 fleet displays, 2 formation displays. You can look at the rule book. Shipping. So yes, you do not get free shipping, and it'll tell you how much the shipping is for 1 copy. And I believe this is all in euros. That would make sense since this is an Italian company. So that's one that's probably a little bit under the radar for a lot of people, but definitely worth checking out if you do like naval and air combat set in the Mediterranean theater of the Second World War. This one might be well worth your while to take a look. I believe this one does not cost a whole lot as far as it's 50 euros for 1 copy of the game. They're estimating delivery for next month. So this is probably a, print and ship kind of thing without a lot of pre-work. I'm assuming that this means the work is basically done. They have some pre-production stuff done and they're ready to just go to printing and delivery. So that's pretty nice. This is one where you can back it and be reasonably certain that you're going to get it in the not too distant future, which is not always the case when you back something on Kickstarter, as you probably know if you've done it before. So this one runs through November 10th. It ends at 9:31 a.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, you've got 23 days to think about it, and it's 50 euros, so that's 50 some odd, $53 or something like that. And yeah, $53 in American currency if you are like me, an American. All right. I think that's all I'm going to look at as far as what's coming up Kickstarter and GameFound wise. There are some other things. There were some updates provided by Lock and Load. They've had some setbacks as far as their production of the things they've had out on GameFound. All three of which, at least the three that I've backed, ALAO, ILAO, and the Stuka game and World at War 85, those three are all kind of delayed, and probably they were originally, I think, targeted for either this month or even earlier, but there's been some delays. So that's what I was talking about when I mentioned, sometimes you back something on Kickstarter and you don't get it for a while. And I'm not throwing shade on Lock and Load Publishing. Stuff happens, life happens, whatever. As long as you get me my game, I'll be happy. I'm not going to hold their feet to the fire over that, because I do know that things come up. So that's going to actually do it for this October update. And I would like to thank you for watching, as I always do. I do appreciate it. If you have comments or questions, or maybe you're aware of something that I did not talk about and want to get that out there, please feel free to post a comment. But that will do it. I'm Joe. This is the Hexed Countered channel. And until next time, happy gaming.